Are you vegan?
No, I
No. Okay.
yeah.
What justifies you using animals without their consent?
Well, I come from a country where like this doesn't even exist because the poverty is so prevalent that we have to eat meat, and a lot of times we don't even know what meat it is. Like it's just we're not picky with it because it's more for survival purposes. You get me?
Hmm.
But I just wanted to come on and say like it's really interesting to hear the discussion and your points and stuff, and I do understand where you're coming from. But would you say it's privileged to be vegan?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say, do you not have access to beans, rice,
No.
fruits,
That's
vegetables?
why, yeah, that's why I'm like, this is not
So
even a
you purely,
concept
you
in this
purely, you
country.
purely eat animals. That's it.
Like, no, we have rice.
Okay.
Like, it's just there's a lot of scarcity, so the
Like, tell me what else you
vegetables,
eat besides the animals.
rice or potatoes, eggs, like
No,
different.
no, no. Besides animal products, though.
Yeah, I just said it. Like potatoes,
So
rice.
you just have rice,
There's not really
potatoes.
not much vegetables, to be honest.
What vegetables do you have?
We have sometimes, I think it's called cabbage, like in English, cabbage. Could it be? It's like a
Okay.
lettuce, but it's white.
Okay.
Tomato, we get,
You have
and
tomatoes. Tomatoes are kind
cucumber.
of a weird one. So you can have tomatoes, but you can't have any other vegetables? Because those
Well,
ones go bad pretty
well,
easily.
yeah, I'm
You
talking
said
about Cuba,
cabbage?
for example. Like, have you ever heard of Cuba?
Oh, wait,
The
wait. Where
country
are you? What country are you?
in Cuba.
You're in Cuba?
Yeah.
You have access to vegan food. You have beans, rice, legumes, grains.
Yeah, but the,
You
the
can go
reason
vegan.
why I
So here's
asked
the
about
thing.
the privilege is
Here's the
because
thing. Here's
we
the thing.
really
Here's the thing.
don't.
It
We
doesn't
don't
matter what your
actually
access to
have
food is.
access to it.
It
But
doesn't matter about your access to food. It's about your perception of animals. It's about you looking at animals instead of seeing them as an individual, you're seeing them as a resource. And I understand there are people that do live in extreme environments that do rely on they need to use the animals, and I
that's what
can't.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm not gonna obviously shame someone that is that is genuinely trying to survive. I would call that an injustice that they don't have actual food choice, right? They have to do something versus having an option to do something. If someone is living in your society and you genuinely cannot go vegan, that's an injustice that needs to be addressed. I think that
Right.
you should have food choice and access to healthy foods. It has been shown that communities that eat high amounts of animal products suffer from a lot of like heart issues. So it's an injustice to force people to live that way.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you, like, do you think, it's kind of a
Well,
privilege
where do
because,
you get your food?
well, we have to just kind of find it because the stores here do not have food. What you see
What do
when
they
you visit,
sell?
not, I mean, they sell the food, but we can't afford it. So it's kind of like we have to go to the little markets that are around the neighborhood, or it's just a situation that's maybe it's not anything close to how it is in the United States. But that's why, for me, I see it as a privilege to just talk about it the way that you guys talk about it, because you do have so much access to it and you can
Do
figure it
you
out.
agree that animals are sentient?
What does that mean?
That they are having a subjective experience of the world?
Like people, like they're living their lives like people. You
No,
mean?
no. So sentience means that they, how plants they just respond to stimuli. Animals actually make preferences, so they'll experience something in the world, but they'll decide if they like it or not. So they have the capacity to feel
Oh, yeah,
joy or
for sure. They
suffering.
probably do.
They
Yeah.
can feel emotions. Okay. So
Yeah.
if we can agree that animals feel pain, would you agree with me that using someone without their consent or causing someone harm when it's unnecessary, that those actions are immoral?
I guess if you compare animals to humans, like the level of
I
emotion
mean, even
or
animals. Do you think it's
to feel.
moral
Yeah, I
to
wouldn't feel.
use or exploit animals when it's unnecessary?
I think it's okay to like kill a cow for you to eat if you need to eat it. It's fine. I'm not gonna
Okay.
feel
So,
for the
what is
cow.
the difference between a cow and like a mentally handicapped person that has the similar capacity of the cow? What's
A
the
person
difference?
has way more capacity than a cow. I
No,
don't
no.
understand
But in this
the comparison.
hypothetical, I understand. So, do you know what a hypothetical is?
It's like an example, you would say?
It's a method to test your logic. So you made a claim that it's not immoral to unalive a cow, and then
Oh, okay,
well, I
okay.
guess
Yeah,
I'll ask you, why is it moral to unalive a cow, but not moral to unalive or use a human that may not be able to consent or reciprocate morality?
okay. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I guess in that way it wouldn't make sense my view, like my point or my opinion on it. But if you think about it in like a survival way,
Sure,
it's just a
survival is
survival.
justifiable because in a survival situation, I could justify eating a human baby.
Yeah, that was exactly so. When you're out of a survival state of mind, you have like that privilege to maybe, okay, yeah, let me see this cow as a sentient person. But if you're in an environment where survival is
You
where
can
like
still see them as a sentient
yeah,
individual.
but the majority of people won't because I mean,
That doesn't
it's
matter.
just
Well, I'm
in
talking to you, though. I'm talking to you. I think
yeah,
you
and
can
I see it
recognize
that
that they're
way.
a sentient being. Okay.
Yeah, I
All right.
could
Well, that's what
recognize
it
it, but it's
means.
so
So,
hard.
so if you genuinely believe that that animal is experiencing, they're having their own, they're an individual, just like you're an individual. You have your own unique wants and likes. When you see them, you'll take that into consideration. If you were to have to use them, you would literally try everything you could before you had to use them. That's what veganism really comes down to, is that
Oh,
you're
okay.
doing it really does come to not wanting to increase the demand to exploit animals because you see that they deserve just as much as you to not be exploited, just because for the same reasons. You have your own life, your own purpose, your own joys, and you want to continue experiencing those.
Okay. I get you what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's actually really
And
interesting because I never
and
heard
and
it that
I
way.
want to suggest to you that you go actually to Challenge 22 because they actually will help you based on where you live. They can maybe help you find resources you didn't even know were there. Because that's another
No,
thing
it's
is
just that's
if you
why I
don't
was like,
have go ahead, sorry.
sorry. I see what you're saying, and I hope that other countries like can go on that website and stuff, but that's just not the case here. That's why I was like, this is so
Well, I
interesting
mean
to see.
you're on the internet
I
right
don't
now. Why
understand.
can't you go to Challenge 22?
Yeah, there's some things that are just like more challenging. I have limited internet.
So you can go on TikTok, but you can't receive emails.
No, like they block websites here.
Challenge
Either
22 is
way,
just go
okay, so
ahead.
search it up right now and tell me if anything comes up in Cuba. Is what I'm saying. Nothing's gonna come up.
No,
This
no.
is
Challenge 22 is someone you're reaching out to. They will find someone in your area.
oh,
They'll help you with that. They'll help you connect with somebody in
I
your
see.
area. And
Okay.
they'll talk about the foods that are available to you in the stores that are near you.
Okay.
It's a great resource. Maybe take a
Okay.
screenshot so you remember it. It's really actually the fact that you can talk to a free dietitian that can help you with where you're at too. I think that's just just a valuable resource because that's not common.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Well, so I do want us to say one last thing is like it's if you were vegan, if you have that mindset that you don't want to harm animals, you'll find your alternatives. You'll look for them. It's kind of like when you get a new car and then you see the car, your car everywhere, or you get a new shirt and suddenly you see other people have the same shirt. The same thing with veganism. Once you start to think with a vegan mindset, you start to see all the vegan stuff that is available to you. So it could be just that you're just your mind is skipping over those things. Anyway, I just check out those resources. Maybe watch Dominion so you know where your food is coming from.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up.